I mean, come on, this is Matsu? I had no idea Matsu was this beautiful. Join me today as we head to Matsu Island, Taiwan. Matsu Islands is a magical set of islands clustered just a few kilometers off China's eastern coast. Matsu has long been an important military stronghold in Taiwan, and it's one of the few remaining destinations in Taiwan I had yet to visit. With decades of incredible military history, a rich cultural and linguistic heritage that's completely unique to the rest of Taiwan, and food that will amaze and surprise you, plus unparalleled physical beauty that I have never experienced in my time here in Taiwan. This Matsu trip completely took me off guard and quite frankly blew my mind. After this adventure, I now put Matsu at the very top of the list of Taiwan's most underrated travel destinations. I am very, very serious about this. So join me today as I take you through my Matsu journey and show you exactly why Matsu is absolutely going to be your next travel destination in Taiwan. Welcome to the Geelong port, where we are boarding the new Taima, a brand new flagship overnight passenger ferry where we're going to spend the next 10 hours of our journey heading out to the first of the Matsu Islands, Dongyin. Okay, yeah, this really feels like a flight. But first, let's explore the ship. Okay, made it here inside the Shin Taima. Right away, I noticed that everything is brand new. The beds look clean, the floors are clean, and then every person has their own kind of berth, I guess you would call that on a ship. I'm quite impressed with the size here. Really, really impressive so far. Actually, one of the reasons why I'm going to Dongyin this year, is because it is the 120th anniversary of the famous Dongyin lighthouse. Time to set sail on the largest seafaring vessel I've ever been on in Taiwan. The night views of Geelong Harbor were unbeatable. So here we are on the upper deck, and this is the cafeteria. It looks like seating is at a premium, so if you want to get a seat up here, come early. Come to the cafeteria early because they close shortly after 11 p.m., but trust me, they are well stocked up with everything you need for the evening. It was quite social with all the soldiers heading back to their posts on Matsu, and I even met one who was kind enough to give me some pointers for the rest of my trip. So do you enjoy living in Dongyin?
Yes, I really enjoy.
You really like it?
And I enjoy my job.
Okay, great. I did a little bit more exploring, then figured it was time to hit the hay and try to get some rest. The next couple of days were going to be very busy. Okay, here we are after 6 years living in Taiwan. This is my first time setting foot on the Matsu Islands. Welcome to Dongyin. Dongyin Township is known for its natural environment and beauty, its Eastern Min culture, for the historical Dongyong Lighthouse, and for its military importance and history as the northernmost territory of Taiwan. How is this not a more popular tourist destination? I mean, from Taipei you just go to Geelong, and sure, fair enough, you have to take like a 10-hour ferry. But even the ferry itself, I think, is quite an interesting experience. Even this little trail is amazing. This is the kind of stuff that I love to do in Taiwan. This is why we travel in Taiwan. This is why we get out of the big cities in Taiwan. I'm so happy to be here today. Wow. We're literally climbing to the top of Beigan Island. So this was constructed in 1904 by British engineers, and it has since been designated a culturally significant site in Taiwan, an ancient site in Taiwan. Before this was built, as you might imagine, there were so many shipwrecks onto the island of Dongyin. Finished in 1904, and now it's 2024. This lighthouse has stood the test of time. It's been sitting here all these decades and decades, more than a century, helping ships navigate their way around this dangerous part of the Taiwan Strait. And we can still come here today and enjoy this lighthouse and say happy birthday. Happy 120th birthday. Wow. There is so much more to discover in Dongyin. I'll make another video about it, but make sure to visit the northernmost point in all of Taiwan and try the food. It is seriously awesome. For now, it's time to get some sleep because in the morning, we're heading to the next island. Okay, just made it to Xiju Island. Very quick little ferry ride, and over the ocean here, you can actually see the rest of the Matsu Islands. It's an absolutely incredible view, and this is a perfect, peaceful, beautiful little island, perfect day trip getaway. But if you do actually want to stay the night here, you can stay here at the Shanghai Ija Hotel. And this hotel is world class, and we went inside, took a look around. It looks absolutely wonderful. For now, we only have a few hours on this island, so I'm gonna go check out what looks to be an absolutely gorgeous beach. Just doing a little driving around Xiju Island here, and I've come across Kunqiu Beach. And one of the most fascinating things about this beach is it has a very interesting geological feature which is only revealed at low tide. Stay tuned for that. I thought Xiju was the only tiny little tropical island paradise in Taiwan. Turns out that's not true. This Xiju Island gives Xiju a run for its money. It is so quiet and so peaceful. I might even say less busy than Xiju, which is nice. I think this island, Xiju, has still retained some of that magic local charm. So here we are, it's about 2 o'clock and the tides have lowered. There's 2 sets of waves coming in and crossing over each other, and there's a tiny strip of land in between. And what basically happens is when the waves hit each other, they kind of start crisscrossing over top of each other, creating very distinct square-like patterns. And apparently there are only 2 places in the entire world where you can witness this phenomenon. One is in southern France, and the other is right here on Xiju Island. Really incredible stuff. I had no idea I would see something like that on this Matsu trip. Wow. I mean, come on, this is Matsu? I had no idea Matsu was this beautiful. I just thought it was sort of a military island. This completely blows my mind. So one of the things you're going to want to do as soon as you get here to Nangan Island in Matsu is check out the Nangan Information Center. It's got brochures, pamphlets, an information desk. It's got a souvenir shop so you can pick something up for all your friends and family back home. It even has guided tour groups that you are able to sign up for. And cool thing is, if you want to win yourself a free round trip to Matsu, you can play one of these reality puzzle games online. So just go ahead and scan this QR code or follow the link down in the description. And if you are the lucky winner, you will not even have to pay for your transportation to Matsu. So make sure you make the Nangan Visitor Center one of your first stops when you get here to the island. And just in front of the Visitor Information Center, we have this absolutely amazing viewing platform. From here, I can see these soaring cliffs, about 180 degrees of ocean. This is one of the most relaxing places I've been to on the whole trip yet. Next up, we're here at the Beihai Tunnels. I've been talking this whole trip about how militaristic these islands of Matsu are, and I think we're about to get a very up close and personal example of that. If these strapping young men behind me carrying a boat is any indication, we are about to head deep down into the mountains of Matsu. After a brief introduction to the Beihai Tunnels, we headed down toward the underground river. Safety first, we're going deep into the tunnels. These tunnels were originally built as a transportation method to be able to secretly carry soldiers and supplies into the island, oftentimes in the dead of night. Now they're an incredibly unique, if not a little terrifying, tourist attraction, and also one of the best ways to see Matsu Island's famous blue tears phenomenon, since the organisms responsible for that glowing blue light enjoy the dark of these tunnels. Trust me, this experience is one that you will not soon forget. If you followed my videos from Penghu, you will know that I love exploring underground military bunkers and tunnels. So if you come here to the visitor center, just walk down the path to the right, and we are going to one of the most famous strongholds in all of Matsu. It's called Dahan Judian, and we're approaching the tunnel now. Let's go take a look. As soon as we're inside, it is so much cooler. It's roasting hot outside. So we've got about an hour to explore these tunnels. They do close at 5, so be aware of that. What makes this tunnel, I think, unique is that it's not actually that old. It was only built in 1975 using simple tools and explosives. So these tunnels were never actually used in a real wartime setting. Clearly we're very lucky to be living in a time of peace because this 90mm artillery cannon would have been placed here facing the ocean. But these days we don't need to worry about anything like that.
What do you think?
Watch my head.
No. Maybe, but if you have the strong enough, maybe you have to kill if they get broken.
Okay.
I worry they will get broken.
I'll be careful, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
So keep that in mind, watch your head. Thank you, bye-bye. Is it just me or did all of Matsu just get a paint job? Feels like everywhere I go, things seem new, the paint seems fresh, renovated. I don't know. I feel like everything's super nice here. I think if you were an invader coming to Matsu, you probably shouldn't bother. I think all the soldiers, they've got tunnels like this all through the island. These are just the ones that the tourists can come and see. So yeah, maybe be careful around Matsu and just leave it alone. Just to prove that Matsu is truly a military paradise, they have actually converted an old military base into a B&B. How cool is that? So I've never seen anything like this before, but if you truly want to know what it's like to be a soldier and what it's like to sleep out in the field in one of these military bunkers, then you can actually do it. This place is called the 55 and it has one of the most spectacular views I've seen so far in Matsu. After watching a spectacular sunset over the literal mountains of eastern China, we wound the night down by heading to a local restaurant, Nangan Haidao Bobo, another military conversion to watch a youth concert, which is a part of the Glimmers in Matsu Festival, a huge event taking place in Matsu this summer, which I will give more details about later. I tried some incredible food and even sampled several kinds of local alcohol, all produced in Matsu, including their famous Laozhou and Gaoliangzhou. It was a very special night and a perfect way to end a long day. Another ferry! We're taking another ferry. Arrived at Beigan here. First step is to rent a scooter. The police are so friendly in Matsu. In Canada, the police can be a little bit stern, but he just nicely came over and said, just be careful driving because there's no hospital here. Welcome to Shinbi Village, and this is one of the architectural wonders of Matsu. This is something that I always see in the pictures, especially when I was doing my research about the outlying islands of Taiwan. Everyone says that this is one of the most unique villages in the entire county, let alone the entire country of Taiwan. So this little community here started developing in the 13th century. Just took a few steps into the village here, and up on the hill I mentioned that this village has been around for centuries, and you can certainly see it. As Prazi said in his video, parts of Matsu really seem like a medieval European town. Like this could almost be southern France or Italy. This really doesn't even feel like I'm in Taiwan. You can probably tell how hot I am. This is a baking hot, beautiful summer day, but I'm kind of getting a little bit thirsty. And I heard there's something very special here, much like we tried yesterday, which is the Laozhou. So we just came up here, the most beautiful patio maybe I've ever been to in Taiwan. And it's such a hot day, I wanted to try the Laozhou Bingshang. This is like the most popular local specialty drink in Matsu. And the lovely gentleman there was so friendly. And he even gave us a free osmanthus popsicle because he saw how hot we were. So let's try this one out. That is so refreshing, wow. And he even put up this umbrella for us because he knew we wanted to sit out here. So nice. It's the Laozhou. Uh-oh. Good stuff. Next, in order to pay respect to the decades of military service and history in Matsu, we paid a visit to the War and Peace Memorial Park Exhibition Center. Wow, it's so interesting in here. It's almost an immersive experience in this room. It's all totally black, and then there's shining old images of the war and ancient war propaganda and cartoons up on the ceiling. So they're definitely giving you a very good impression of what it must have felt like being here on Beigan and Matsu during a wartime. I love all of the exhibits. They have maps, they have dates, they even have old authentic military artifacts. There's all kinds of information you can read along the walls. It looks brand new. It's so well put together in here. And I think my favorite part might be all these old photographs from the wartime era. Everyone's clothing just looks so like from a different era, which of course it was. All the bases, everywhere you look, there's camouflage or artillery cannons or a beautiful museum like this, which just has on display all the authentic weaponry and tools. It really kind of brings it all together, not just as something historical, but as something that really happened and affected people's lives. So I'm really glad that they have a place like this where someone like me who might not be so familiar with the history of Matsu, I can come here and learn anything I want about the wartime history of these islands. Beautiful Mabiwan Beach. People are sleeping on Matsu, I swear. I mean, this looks like we could be in Kenting or Shaliocho, maybe even nicer. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous blue water. This amazing yellow sand that you can see all over the islands of Matsu. I am so impressed. I know I keep saying I'm impressed with Matsu. Literally nobody told me. I think Prazi is the only person who ever said, man, Matsu is extremely underrated. So thank you, Prazi. Go watch his video, and I'm really happy to be here filming these videos for my channel as well. I seriously wish I knew about Matsu 4 or 5 years ago. I might have come here every single year, and especially this summer, they're having something called the 2024 Matsu Glimmer Festival. And this festival looks like a whole lot of fun. It's kind of aimed at the youthful energy of Matsu, and the idea is to combine the 4 townships and the 5 main islands of Matsu, bring them all together and celebrate the military history here, the local customs and the local religious culture, tons and tons of food, live music, all kinds of fun things. So I highly encourage you to go check out all the links below. And especially if you're a musician like me, there's going to be a huge focus on music. So every Saturday night, they're going to have concerts in Beigan at various locations, and every Sunday in Nangan. And they're not just going to be like your typical concerts. They're gonna have concerts at places like the piers, the lighthouse, military bunkers. Highly encourage you guys to go check that out. It looks like a lot of fun. Amazingly, the trip has now come to an end. And I know that this is a long video, so I'll just say, Matsu rose above and way exceeded all of my wildest expectations for this trip. It is a criminally underrated part of Taiwan, and I highly encourage everyone to go visit. Check out the 2024 Glimmers in Matsu Festival for your best chance to take part in all the fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. More Matsu videos coming soon. Check out all the links below, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.